Just 1 year after launch, Chatgpt has well over 100 million daily active users. And next week, OpenAI is opening the floodgates, allowing developers to profit on their platform by selling custom GPT agents. All you have to do is convince 1% of the user base to pay you $1 per month for your custom agent, and you'll be a decamillionaire by the end of the year. By the end of today's video, you'll know how to get rich from this once-in-a-lifetime shovelware opportunity. It is January 5th, 2024, and you're watching The Code Report. Building a custom GPT agent is way too easy. Literally, all you do is go down to My GPTs, create a new agent, give it some custom instructions and conversation starters, and maybe upload some files with some custom data, release it on the store next week, then slap the hood and tell people how this bad boy can solve all their problems. The barrier to entry is extremely low, and that means the GPT store will likely be filled with crapware by the end of next week. But it may not be the only store in town for long. Coincidentally, screenshots for Google's Bard Advanced were just leaked hours ago. It looks like Bard may have its own paid tier based on Gemini Ultra in the future, along with a marketplace for developers. But that's pure speculation at this point. Now, another big question mark is, what will the revenue split be on the ChatGPT store? Will it be 70-30 like Apple, or will it be much lower than that because OpenAI is kind of doing most of the work here? In any case, there'll be some kind of leaderboard, so if you actually create something useful, there's a good chance you'll make a lot of money. Now the question becomes, what should I actually build? There's already a bunch of agents built by OpenAI, like this one that will create a die-cut sticker for you, and then provide a link where you can actually buy those stickers. These are pretty cool, but luckily I have some banger ideas that I'm not going to build that you can have for free. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and continue watching. Idea number 1 is an agent that controls your smart home. You give it access to all your cameras, so it can do things like automatically turn on the heated floors when you get out of the shower. Idea number 2 is to build a stockbroker agent. It provides investment advice and can be used to automatically gamble your users' money when hooked up to APIs like Alpaca. Idea number 3 is to create an AI personal trainer that gets you in shape by calling you a fat every day until you get skinny. Okay, those ideas sounded pretty dumb now that I say them out loud, so unsubscribe, I guess. But to be brutally honest, the best idea is to just go out and find the trendiest AI SaaS products, steal their ideas, and put them on the GPT store as your own. But what I'm building is an AI agent for my open source Spellfire library that can remotely execute code. Currently, ChatGPT can only execute Python, but my Fire Breather agent can execute JavaScript in a sandboxed environment on my server. This magic is made possible thanks to ChatGPT actions, formerly known as plugins. You'll notice down here at the bottom on the configuration that we have an action that points to my URL. This allows ChatGPT to access an API that I built that contains the secret sauce for anything the end user would want to pay for. The next step is to build an actual API. There's a million different ways to do that, but one TypeScript option I've been liking recently is Nitro. It does file system routing and can be easily deployed almost anywhere. So a ChatGPT action is basically just an HTTP API that ChatGPT understands. The first step is to add an AI-plugin JSON file to the well-known directory on your website or URL. It just provides basic information about what the API actually does. The next step is to build an API that actually does something useful. That's beyond the scope of this video, but basically you're going to have some input data, like the information provided by the user in the chat. You'll take that information and do something useful on your server, then send a response that will go back to the user in the chat. Now what's crucial is that GPT understands this API, and it does that with the OpenAPI spec, which is a standard format either in YAML or JSON that provides a consistent structure for documenting RESTful APIs. Now you could generate this schema by hand, but hopefully you chose a framework that can build one automatically. In Nitro, this is experimental, which I can update here in my config. Then I can either provide it as a URL or paste it here into the browser. Once that's done, all you have to do is deploy your API somewhere. Then you can start testing it here in the browser. Congratulations, you now have your own artificial agent that you can start exploiting for profit next week. This has been The Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.